Welcome back once again to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series. The year is 2019, and young men and women play video games for money. I'm Nathanius, joined by Coltarin, who...
Howdy.
Up until recently, you just got brought back after the snap, right? You missed the last 5 years of StarCraft, but that's why we got fresh blood here to help us out. Legally, he's 30 like me, but he's actually something else. How are you doing today?
I'm great, doing awesome. It's really excited for all these games today. Should be a lot of fun times. You know, Harstem SortOf. I think set up to be another excellent PvZ. I mean, Namshar coming out strong and getting in the first series. Always love to see him do well. It's gonna be a fun day, Nate. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep, we got the Flaming Lips going up against Rickard, Mechanics, Bergman. Two great memes in their own right, and I hope to see that pasta in the Twitch chat. If you get banned, it's fine. Just whisper Rotterdam08. He'll get you unbanned in
He's the homie.
No time. Yeah, what a great guy. Really class act. But I do feel like it's an interesting result. Namshar taking out Showtime.
Yeah, definitely not what people were expecting heading into this group, right? And you know, Namshar been improving a lot recently. You know, I think that this year really coming into his own. You know, not that he wasn't already well established, but have been having some really good results, and now looking to continue that as we get into game number 1 here for the second series of Group C for WCS Challenger Europe. It's Harstem taking on SortOf.
Group C for what?
Group C for chocolate. Because we're keeping things sweet with StarCraft action up in the top left-hand side in the red. He is SortOf.
I'm more of a dark chocolate person.
Good choice. Respectable.
More guitar riffs. His opponent in the bottom right, the blue Protoss player. He is Harstem. Eloquently referred to himself in the lobby as the Weeb Hunter. Do you watch anime, Coltarin?
On occasion, yes, but not enough. I think I'm safe from being hunted by the mighty Harstem. His lips alone can strike fear in a weeb from miles away.
Yeah, that's what he said. He wanted us to mention on air that he disapproves of anime and he doesn't like weebs.
Yes.
So if you can give me a concha in the chat, I'd really appreciate that, guys. Tell me what your stand is, what its power is, and what your favorite Joestar is. That's really all I care about. And then Harstem will probably find all of you, so just be on the lookout.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're wanting to meet Harstem, I mean, you'll meet him for a few seconds before he finishes the job.
Yeah. He did say, as well, he asked if he would be allowed to promote his new mixtape at the start of the game, which he has not done. I feel like he was, I think he was just the slightest bit perhaps nervous to drop that promo.
Yeah, you know, just maybe doesn't quite have the confidence.
You know what?
Tweet at him, guys. Say that you want to see his mixtape.
Yeah, you know what I realized it actually is it's so fire, he didn't want to crash the game. Probably would have brought the whole stream down.
Oh, man. It caused huge delays, and he's just being so considerate to our production staff.
And us. I mean, this facility is huge. If he drops a mixtape that fire, I don't know I can run fast enough to get out of here.
Oh, no. The fire exits, I mean, definitely not
This place is massive.
We're going down.
Yeah, so
100%.
Thank you, Harstem, for sparing us. Interested to see what SortOf is going to bring to the table. He's cool. I think both of these players, by the way, if you have been following the Nation Wars voting, and I'm going to remind you that if you voted yesterday, guess what? You can go vote again. Woo! Do it while you're watching this. It's super easy. It's actually, the website is really intuitive.
Yeah, it's actually like a really well-designed website. Yeah, I was really impressed.
You open it, there's a big list of flags. You click on the flag or the country, and you're like, well, I just want to vote for America today. Click on that, click on M. Cannon, click on Future, and then, you know, whoever else you want. But if you want to vote Harstem, wants to play for the Netherlands, and SortOf wants to play for Sweden.
Yeah, go vote for them. Namshar also wanting to represent Sweden, I do believe. So yeah, lots of Nation War names here in these groups, as it is a Stargate coming down from Harstem. Ooh, the Lings actually get in. Very nice scout.
And that's a great read. So, I mean, you're going to be aware of the Stargate since it was a Phoenix opening pretty quickly anyway, because he's most likely going to go for the Overlord fast. But being annoying about the Adept is really nice. Lots of Protoss players love to move that Adept across the field very early. And I don't believe he got a super fast read, though, on the Robo facility. So that's nice. But if he pokes the wall again anytime soon, he should be blissfully aware.
Yeah, just going to be a pretty standard start here as that speed gets closer to finishing up. Could allow sort of that response to any sort of early gateway units come walking across, as Spore Crawler's already getting set up here as that first Oracle soon to make its appearance. And yeah, you know, I'm curious to see how much of the 3 Oracle play we'll be seeing today coming out from these Protoss players. Of course, popularized by Stats, I believe. Harstem, I know, has been practicing it very specifically as well, talking with our observer Awesome Sauce about that.
Well, so we've got that first Oracle on the field. Second one is coming. And a Warp Prism, which feels early. So I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those strange Yeet builds where he actually takes the Oracles to the front to be aggressive and perhaps warps in a few Depths or Zealots behind it.
Yeah,
mostly because I don't see what you do with an with a Warp Prism this fast. He doesn't have a Twilight Council, so
yeah, you know, I imagine going to be used for a lot of just microing those gateway units, and then as the Immortals come out, we'll help with those as well, as that Roach Warren is coming up. 3 Oracles can pop these Queens, you know, surprisingly quickly, especially if they get caught on the front lines. If he has some Zealots available, 10 Zerglings getting out at the same time as that Warp Prism makes its way to the top side of the map. Here come the Oracles and the Phoenix.
That's right. Or in the Phoenix pokes away at that one Overlord, of course, trying to take some hits. But one of the Oracles loses a lot of its shield, so you got to be careful about target fire potentially coming in from that Spore. He does not target fire, so he's able to get a good amount of drones and then pulled back. Oracles are still alive. Very nice.
Yeah,
the Depths make their way to the third.
Yeah, Oracle. I mean, the Depths continuing to stay alive here. Nice job. Not taking a ton of damage. That Warp Prism getting very low though.
As long as it lives. That's still a very nice start, as he's able to pick off quite a few drones. The lair has only just begun, so it's not like there's a big tech follow-up that's coming from SortOf. And I think the Oracle's dropping a stasis ward on the natural right now.
Yeah, appears so. And, you know, with that lair coming up and all that larva getting invested into the drones, going to be quite some time before we'll have SortOf in a position to apply some pressure back the other way, as sentries getting added on to complement this force. Great pickoff with that Queen. And now it's a third Nexus on the way for Harstem here, feeling very safe right now.
Yeah. Colataran, I'm going to ask you a very important question as we see this Immortal Sentry move out. Oh, actually, excuse me, a bunch of Zlings are also counterattacking onto this third. So this is really good pressure, because Harstem's going to have to pull his army all the way back.
Yeah.
And it looked like he wanted to do a move out that reminded me a lot of what we've seen Showtime doing. And I guess this is a part of the strategy that is just built off of the follow-up to the 3 Oracles.
Yeah, you know, with the Twilight Council and the Forge coming up behind it, going to have access to that transition, as, you know, right now, moving forward, looking to pressure the third, looking to force out units, you know, keep this economy in check. And with no fourth hatchery on the way already, it's going to mean that Harstem will have to push up this ramp at some point, one of these. Which will be a little dangerous, right? Especially against these Roaches, as more Ravagers get added on, Biles. Going to be very potent. That Warp Prism placement going to be so crucial for this push to be successful.
Yep. This is a big army, though. I mean, have multiple Immortals, got the Prism. I really like,
traps.
Unlike previous games, and no offense to Showtime, Harstem's kept the Oracles alive into the mid-game here, which feels a lot more statsy. So having the Stasis Wards to cover back is really nice. And also, just the Oracles can add a lot of damage if a fight is forced. I don't think Harstem has any pressure to actually force a fight. Yeah. Maybe he can gut check the ramp as he continues to clear up creep. But, oh wow, look at that. Grabs a few Ravagers.
Yeah, and now, you know, taking a nice fight, picking off a few units here. And behind this, you know, adding on his Templar Archives.
Oh, that's a huge stasis.
Oh, my goodness.
Rut-row. I mean,
yeah.
On one hand, you can kill the 2 Ravagers here as this stasis ends. I don't want to see him retreat. And yeah, there you go. Force field that ramp. There you go. Boom. Free Ravagers. Ay.
Yeah, no, exactly what you want here for Harstem, as he's now moving up. Roach is on the right-hand side, sort of looking for the flanks. Zerglings wrapping around. Nice Guardian Shield here. Some of those Ravagers trapped on the top. Not yet able to break through, and the Immortals standing tall. So much damage.
This is perfect from the Flaming Lips.
Yeah,
really.
This is beautiful.
Couldn't do this any better. He's got the ramp blocked off. He's pinched off a lot of units. Stasis Trap just also has been redonkulously valuable.
Yeah, and he already has Storm on the way behind this. Already has a few High Templar building up energy back at home as well. Really, everything going beautifully for Harstem so far.
This army, though, that's going to be really bad.
Okay.
At some point, a recall becomes the correct play.
Yeah, definitely cannot overstay here. Has done a great job so far. Doesn't want to tarnish that now.
This goes from
gets a great spot.
This goes from great to terrible very quickly if you overextend. The fourth base was put up during all of this on the north side. There was the one group of units that got stasis that he was not able to capitalize on and go for the kill, but still, like what I see, he's going to take his own fourth. He got plenty of damage done. He hasn't let the tech spiral out of control. And I think what you want to do is power it up for a push in maybe a minute or two before that hive is able to kick in. And if you can get a nice timing before Broodlords, like that's generally speaking going to be the Protoss dream. You do not want to fight Broodlords because then you have to build air units. And once you build air units, the Infestors come out. And once the Infestors come out, everybody in Twitch chat starts, you know what I mean? We got the waterworks running.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting. We got 10 days, guys. 10 days. And the Infestor madness will come to an end. Armor is very, very, very important. And once it actually works, it's going to be a whole new game again.
Yeah, what a day that will be for all of my poor oppressed Protoss brothers. You know.
Yeah.
Really, really a shame. But
when someone's like, how much will the armor working actually do? I'm like, have you seen a battle cruiser shoot an air unit? Do you understand? Like, armor is a huge thing when units shoot fast.
Yeah, it is so important. I mean, the math I think now with +3 attack and with the change, Infested Terran are now going to do barely less damage than they do with at the start now.
At full upgrades, it's going to be at least a 30% damage nerf.
Yeah.
Some guy broke it all down.
Yeah, I think I saw that same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool. And ooh, this could be sick.
But until that day comes, you don't want to be forced into big air versus Zerg. So Prism gets inside the main. This is really huge.
Okay.
Go!
Kill the units.
Hi-ho Silva, away!
Oh, that Greater Spire could get sniped as well by those Zealots. The entire army's having to move back here. So many Ravagers, the Banelings.
Get the Greater Spire. Infiltrate the Hive. Find the Spire. There you go.
Kill the Spire, win the game, march forward. The code is there. He's in the Matrix. Harstem is doing it now, pushing forward.
He's got so many storms and force fields. Just don't let him get into the soft underbelly. Okay, he gets the soft underbelly.
Oh, God.
There's still some good force fields, and he could kill the fourth and try to recall out, and that would still be fine. Since he killed the Greater Spire, the clock has reset. Until the Spire starts, until he starts a new Spire, the clock is completely reset.
Storms.
The pressure is nowhere near as big as it was. Yeah, great job. Harstem's able to end the game right then and there. GG, well played. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You think about what you want to have happen. You want to get that big push. You want to kill the fourth base. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. You get a good amount of the Banelings killed, lose some High Templar. You live to fight another day.
Right.
But there's another timeline where you don't get that Greater Spire kill. The Prism maybe gets killed by Queens, or the reaction is really good from SortOf. And then all of a sudden, Zerg player says, maybe I'll let you kill my fourth, but I'm going to get the Broodlords up. And then all of a sudden, you get pushed back, the Broodlords come out, and all those units on the ground are just not as good, and the game gets very, very slow.
Yeah, those timing, you know, the importance of that Warp Prism staying alive really cannot be overstated, you know, and the importance of Harstem maintaining awareness of where his army was at, not overstaying, as you said. Yeah, put himself in a great spot and sort of being unable to punish it there, you know. Perhaps if he was more aggressively pushing against that earlier, you know, before he was able to back off outside the natural base, before the fourth base was going up, you know, maybe he's able to shut down that army in a better position. But yeah, really beautifully executed by Harstem.
After Harstem's comments in the chat, he says in the lobby here, that Greater Spire, that was a Naruto runner right there. You guys got to be careful going around Harstem. As he said, there's no weeb safe while he's around.
Sniffs him out. He found him. One that drone that built that spire, out of there.
No,
too much.
No, it's a classic mistake to make against Flaming Lips.
I mean, sort of should have known whenever it showed up, wearing the Shinobi headband for orientation. Like, ready to work, sir. Like, foolish. Foolish. Thunderbird gonna be the next map here, guys. For this best of 3.
Is it possible to die from self-induced cringe? I don't know. We're trying here at the World Championship
doing our best.
Series. We're doing our best as we load into game number 2. Harstem played really well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. Everything he did was perfect. Biggest things that I want to call out, that whole push that he does outside the natural and by the third, that late fourth base. The fourth base was late, which hurts. But his army dies really, really fast if SortOf's able to jump on him. and he couldn't, A, because the force fields are good, but B, the stasis traps.
Yeah.
Which comes from not losing those 3 oracles.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the big things, looking back for Showtime. That series was very rough. Yeah, it went to game 3, but in all the games where he did the oracle memes, they died.
Right.
They all died pretty early. I think maybe the last game with the Tempest one, he had like 1 alive. I don't know.
So,
I don't even
yeah.
know if that. I don't know if that was a rebuilt oracle, but the 1 oracle it just didn't do as much. I really loved the offensive stasis ward usage to cover his flanks. Big credit to Harstem there for the positional, situational awareness.
Yeah, really, really intelligent play, and so did such a great job of not only setting those up and then also playing around them, playing around his win conditions with that army, recognizing if I stay, they're probably going to be able to kill me with the next wave of reinforcements, back it up, and with a phenomenal job of keeping up with his macro on the back side of it as well. Really well done. As any reason for Harstem to mix it up here on this map? I feel like it's still a very potent build coming out.
It's always good. It's always a good build. And here's the thing: when you do it and it works, all of a sudden, what Showtime tried to do in Game 2, it looks a lot better. The idea, if Harstem wanted to open Stargate or like fake him out, I'm all for it. Because if you're you're going to be very aware of the oracles this game. You're already probably thinking about it. You're like, all right, what will I put where? And that's a big thing.
Yeah, it could definitely be taken advantage of. If he's trying to keep more queens up in his main base to stay safe, could see that get taken advantage of by some of the earlier pressure we see with a few sentries. Force fields can become so restrictive, especially if units start getting trapped up in the main base. Saw that a lot in back in Heart of the Swarm. Flying, bringing in Warp Prism with sentries in it, locking down the main base, and just going to town. But going to be a fun time here as Harstem gets his natural base up, and there is that Stargate. So once again,
you love to see it.
Yeah, and again, most likely going to be that Phoenix coming out first, hunting down the Overlord. So SortOf should know about it, even if he doesn't get any Zerglings in this time. And we'll see how he responds, see how he mixes up the play here, getting the Overlord speed as well.
But the Adept is always going to be good for a little bit of a gut check. If you don't go for early Ling speed, which we're not seeing Ling speed early here out of SortOf. He's getting Overlord speed instead for scouting purposes. But if you don't go for that, you do have to be very aware of the Adept because it's going to run around. It's going to do stuff like this, which you have to be cautious because A, it wants to scout, but if the single Adept like this is able to get a drone kill, a single drone, that's terrible.
Right.
Like, it just shouldn't happen. And it won't get a kill here, which is really, that's just good control of the situation by SortOf, using his slow units that can't do too much to great effect. And he gets the full Overlord scout because he says, hey, I agree, Nathanius, sort of telepathically agreeing with me. It's just the Swedish connection. He says, I don't want to die to a fast Twilight Council. And I totally understand that. Many people don't want to die to a fast Twilight Council.
It is, in fact, a common want among Zergs.
Yeah.
Among everybody, really.
Yeah, you'd say most people don't want to die in general, but really to that Twilight Council. So
yeah, like Robo, it's a little bit more honorable, I think.
Yeah, knowing that it's going to be the Oracle play takes a lot of pressure off. Because like he has Ling speed on the way, but theoretically, if he decided that he didn't want to get Ling speed because he was doing like a fast Hydra Ravager, I don't know. Like you wouldn't want to skip Ling speed for almost any reason, but he doesn't have to build Lings.
Yeah,
he's fine. There is going to be that quick Prism follow-up again, and that did work reasonably well. He was able to do a good amount of pressure last game, but it's not going to be like, 8 resonating glaive adepts shading into your 3rd Prism.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be much more kind of light pressure coming up, just more, forcing out the units from SortOf, and with that Roachborn on the way, he's not going to be too worried about this. But the main name of the game right now for Harstem is just trying to draw that attention away from SortOf to open up opportunities for these cheeky little oracles we see heading up towards the top side here. So that 3rd one's about to pop out, and the layer is only just now getting started. So the tech once again a little bit later from SortOf.
Harstem already thinking about his follow-up. His first Immortal is done. Second one is coming in. But look at this, Coltarin. That Prism's going to hit the natural while he gets the lift up. And there's, just that one Spore here in the main.
Yeah, great target fire with that Spore. onto the Oracle, forcing it back. Only 2 workers go down, and the War Prism of the Natural not doing too much either. Finally getting a few more kills, but loses the Phoenix for it.
I was going to say, at what point do you say target fire? Yeah, okay, it's great to get the Oracles, but the Phoenix.
Yeah.
If you kill the Phoenix there, then the Queen gets an extra shot, and maybe that missed shot on the thing becomes worth more stasis where it does get denied.
Yeah, I'd be curious how the math works out for that. As now the Forge and that Twilight Council coming out on the backside for Harstem. So once again, doing a great job of maintaining his macro throughout this pressure. With these sentries, have a mini Soul Train heading across. I'm gonna have a lot of potency to restrict the battlefield, keep these roaches in their place. The Oracle's still looking for more damage and doing a decent job.
Yeah.
Staying alive. Oh, okay. Don't jinx it.
Don't lose it.
Okay.
He did a really good job with that last game. Bunch of Lings coming out. Roach Speed getting a Ravager. He's aware. This is the same attack from the last game. Harstem is going for the 1 kick 1,000 times build.
Yeah, I mean that's the Jackie Chan method, right? Or is it Bruce Lee? Don't fear a man who knows 1,000 punches. Fear a man. Practice 1 punch 1,000 times. As Zergling's getting a wraparound here. The force field's not quite in time. Bile's not connecting, but breaking through those force fields, moving up here. That Immortal taking so much damage already, and the Warp Prism going to have to come into play. Nice stealth in the back. The Zerglings are dead.
Not the craziest stasis trap though, and there's a lot of units here for Harstem to deal with. So, sort of got 2 clumps of his units caught by stasis traps last game. This time, it's really just a handful of Lings and a Roach. So
yeah,
it's going to be really okay.
Ooh. Has to get out of there.
My heart can't handle this. It's only 8 in the morning.
Yeah, not enough caffeine kickstarting it just yet.
No, I need the IV set up. God, the sound of Ravagers blowing up is so satisfying.
It really is one of the best sound effects in the game.
Overlord's blowing up too.
Oh, so good. And like if on the higher sound settings, from the sound of them hitting the ground too.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh yeah, when the physics engine kicks in, just Overlord body slops around on the floor.
Excellent.
Gotta love killing alien bugs.
Ain't nothing sweeter.
Ain't nothing sweeter.
As +1 and that charge finishing up here very soon for Harstem. His third base fully saturated and comfortable now. So with that Templar Archives on the way behind this, gonna have access to that Storm, and its Swarm Host gonna be the call for SortOf. I like it.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, you open yourself up to a counterattack window as the Swarm Host count increases. As a Terran player, I love playing against Swarm Host because I feel like everything suddenly just the game becomes much more simple.
Right.
As weird as it sounds, it's really just, I need to get an army that I feel comfortable moving out with, assuming that there are no locusts, and you punch through 1 wave, and as long as you don't let the Zerg bully you back so that another wave can come out, like, you can really do devastating damage.
Yeah.
And we did see that when the Swarm Hosts were busted out against Showtime in that first map.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, as long as Harstem can be proactive with those storms and take down those locusts before they're able to get the shots off, you know, maintain awareness of where the Swarm Hosts are going, we don't see a Nidus network or anything to help those Swarm Hosts with more mobility. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of windows available for Harstem, and it's gonna be on SortOf to play around these locusts. So they add so much to this army, and Storm is not ready yet.
Gonna force field the ramp. Oh no! Okay, well that's
unfortunate.
That's really rough.
Yeah. Oh.
Losing the 4th base here is actually going to be.
That is massive. Yeah. As it gets canceled with not too much time left on it, still waiting for that Storm before he's really able to take a good fight here.
This is where the Swarm Hosts thrive, though. When the first wave of Locust is able to actually get something done, that's always the dream. I think a lot of Swarm Host builds hinge on that very first wave of Locust, specifically for that reason. Because, yeah, he can defend up this ramp forever, but then you're on 3 bases, and Zerg eventually, this position, if you can't get down this ramp, it becomes, the ramp becomes less of a safety device, and it's going to actually end up being his coffin.
Yeah, as SortOf is coming up with the nail gun, looking to seal him in. The great sarcophagus of Harstem coming up as Storms. Ooh, very nice on the Locust, actually. Killing quite a few of them, but haven't used a lot of Storms for it.
Yeah, I mean, getting rid of the Roach Ravager count, I think, is very important. Thank God those Biles only hit the Immortals with their shields up.
Yeah, that was very fortunate for Harstem.
Prism is going to be able to buy him a new lease on life, though, as he counterattacks here. Now, keep in mind, that army sucks without the Swarm Hosts able to shoot their Locust out. So as long as he can keep this pressure with the Prism so that all of the units can't just run and defend, then that's just really, really nice. This Prism, you really want to keep this Prism alive.
Ooh, very nicely done by Harstem. Warp Prism stays alive. That main force was starting to contest the creep, but doesn't look like he actually has an observer with that army.
Yeah, and he's going to get a bunch of Banelings, so you do not want a wave of Locusts to crash down on your army, followed up by the Banelings.
Recipe for disaster as the Swarm hosts are once again moving forward on their own.
No!
Oh man, he loses a few there, and these Locusts now getting committed to not what they want
This
here.
is the ideal scenario for anyone playing versus Locusts, is that you're on open field and you just walk away.
Yeah, this is so nice.
This is, you ignore the Locusts, right? It's like when people tweet mean things at you, you just shake it off, right? He doesn't have to engage it. But unfortunately, as I say that, the rest of the army very proactively goes straight to the 4th again, and the Ravagers get the base cancel.
Yeah, nicely done there by sort of making the best of that suboptimal wave of Locusts. You know, it did accomplish the goal, forced Harstem back up that ramp again, and that 4th base still not up, and it's been up for quite some time for SortOf now. Harstem's economy still a 6-worker lead for himself.
Yeah, being behind one base is not the end of the world for this scenario, so I'm not gonna go all doom and gloom yet, but this is still a really big army that Harstem has to overcome if he wants to be able to get this 4th.
Yeah, the Storm is so crucial here as the Locusts start to come in, getting on top of those High Templar.
Nice,
Mothership is out now, the Overseer
was
in
a
a
little
decent position.
It was a little out of position at first, now it comes up, but keep in mind, if that Overseer dies here, then the army can't attack him, so...
Yeah, the Zealot's getting so much work done on the left-hand side of that fight as well as the Swarm hosts running for the hills. So many Banelings up on the top there, just waiting for their chance, waiting for that centrifugal hooks to finish up. And we could be seeing quite the massacre here if Harstem doesn't be careful. These force fields so crucial.
Yeah, the Locust is the big one. Oh, look at that. Prism finds a way. But there's still quite a few roaches there. However, it's good because he's baited the roaches over. Actually, he fat-fingered F2, it looks like, as well. Oh, the Banes are so low. This is so poor. Gets almost all of the Banelings with a Storm.
So massive. Here's the Immortals in the back, pumping out so many damage onto these roaches, moving forward, turning down the Archons here, the Overseer in the sky, still staying alive, still maintaining detection. The Time Warp not coming in time.
I love it, though.
Man.
I love actually seeing Time Warp get used.
It's so nice.
It's a bit of a whiff type ability. Like it's very hard for it to do what it needs to. But if the Time Warp is able to be put somewhere crucial where it affects attack speed of
this
units.
army is so scary.
This has been beautifully orchestrated. The lack of any Banelings now, there's nothing that can crash through this many Immortals.
No, and making roaches right now, and those are just, you know, doomed to fail as the Immortals are moving into range of this hatchery. GG.
Harstem cleaning up here in match number 2. That was just beautiful play.
Yeah, like
Harstem played
cleanly executed.
Damn near perfect best of 3 out of Harstem. Really,
Absolutely.
really impressed. And the biggest thing I'm going to say is what made that big push do so much in game number 1. The Warp Prism got in, he sniped the Spire. You could argue the game was kind of over at that point because the army on the ground didn't really deal with it that well, but sort of had no options there. And his Stasis Sword usage was really good. The Oracle usage was really good. I'm going to say the same thing. The Oracles didn't do as much in game number 2, but he still picked off a few key Ravagers. He was able to bully back the Swarm hosts with it. He did put the Stasis Traps down with the forward attack to deny the 4th.
Yeah.
And even though he didn't really do too much, he lost a lot of those units, he still delayed the 4th.
Yeah.
And I really liked everything that he did control-wise.
Absolutely, yeah, really well executed from him, and you know, sort of had the broad strokes of the right ideas, right? Was able to force to cancel that 4th base quite a few times, and just still wasn't able to find the answer. You know, the Storm doing way too much, not able to find that decisive engagement with the Banelings, and then not being able to afford to remake them after losing so many.
And the biggest thing I'm going to say is the Prism again comes in, and we saw, you know, our wonderful observer Awesome Sauce showed us 14 roaches fighting 2 Zealots, and then I look at the mini-map, I'm like, F2, baby. All the Banelings are up there, and then he's like, oh, wait, the army's still here, I got to bring him down. Loses half of his Swarm hosts, waiting for the rest of his army, and then perfect storms land all on the Banelings because they're all clumped up because...
Yeah, I mean, they probably were watching anime, you know? That's why.
Exactly.
Harstem.
He took out the anime club with 2 Side Storms. Beautifully done, Harstem. Get rid of those weaves. We're going to take a look at the schedule as that sets us up for our winners match and our loser match.
Indeed.
The loser match being Showtime versus SortOf. So another great PvZ is going to be coming your way after the break, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll have Harstem playing Namshar in the winners. PvZ goodness all the way down. You're watching the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series. We'll be back after a short break.